So you're thinking about moving to Fishers, Indiana, but you want to know, hey, what are the good, what are the bad things about it, the pros and the cons? Well, we're going to talk about that right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the pros. And pro number one is going to be quality of life. Fishers is the second best place to live in Indiana, according to niche.com. It is also the fourth safest suburb in the United States, according to smartassets.com. It's also in the top 10 for affordability in housing, and it is 17.5% of the median household income on average. Fishers also has the lowest municipal taxes out of the top 10 largest Indiana cities. So that's great because who likes paying for taxes, honestly? Pro number two is going to be the Fishers school system. They have A-rated schools. It's pretty big. It's the fourth largest in the state, but they also have a 98% graduation rate, so that's fantastic, especially when it's really big. And Fishers covers a larger area than, say, Carmel, Westfield. So a lot more schools, more students, but the nice thing is they don't let the students fall through the cracks. You also have a really great library where students can go to study, get more education, and different things you can do like media labs, theater, all of that stuff. If you're into live music, you can practice that as well. Just a lot of things that you can do. Pro number three is going to be amenities. Fishers has a ton of things to do and tons of amenities no matter what age you are. You have things to do like the escape room where you basically pay people to lock you into a room and you have to find clues to then unlock the door onto the next level until you're out. You also have Top Golf, Prairie. That's an interactive historic park dedicated to telling the history of Indiana through personal exploration. You also have Adrenaline Family Adventure Park. It's got a lot of things for all ages. You have a trampoline park, kids would love it. Rope and climbing course, good for teens. Ninja Warrior course, just don't hurt yourself on it. You got climbing walls, extreme basketball courts with trampolines. That sounds like a lot of fun, but at the same time, you gotta be careful so you don't collide with each other. It's got arcades, kids play areas, and even more. I really suggest you guys check it out if you're ever in the area. Fishers has a lot of green spaces too, like Cyntheanne Park. It's a community park with various amenities for recreation. You have multiple athletic fields for unstructured play. You can do tons of sports, all that. It's got 1 mile of multi-use trails. It's got concession buildings, playgrounds for kids, and even more. And for locally owned places like restaurants, you have Sun King Tap Room and Small Batch Brewery. I've been there. It's a really cool, really great place. The nice thing is it is locally owned, locally brewed beer, and a nice friendly atmosphere. Another great place to go is Ritchey Woods Nature Reserve. It's a nice peaceful trail for hiking and wildlife viewing opportunities. You have 9 nature trails totaling over 2.25 miles. It's perfect for running, walking, and just enjoying your time in nature. You got picnic shelters, picnic tables. It's a good thing to do during the weekend or take your kids out, have fun, and all that. If you're into mountain biking, you can go to Flat Fork Creek Park. Try saying that fast. That'll definitely get your tongue tied up. It's tucked away on the east side of Fishers. It's got over 1 mile of mountain biking courses. It winds through the woods, including various ramps and technical features, and it's great for beginners and advanced as well. And one of the park's most well-known features is a 60-foot sledding hill, which is also the highest point in Fishers and Hamilton County. Fishers is in Hamilton County, but I think it's really sad that that's the highest point in the county since Indiana is so flat as well. And the nice thing is the park isn't just for sledding or mountain biking. It's got a pond for fishing, but you are required to have a state-issued fishing license to fish in the pond unless you're under the age of 17. Then you don't need a fishing license. The park also protects nearly 20 acres of dedicated reforestation that protects the local habitats. One very popular amenity in Fishers is going to be Geist Reservoir. It's just under 2,000 acres and holds over 7 billion gallons of water. It's a great place to go swimming and boating during the summer, and it even has a beach. Now, it's a very small beach. It's only 100 yards long, and it was constructed in 2013, but hey, you got a beach nonetheless. Geist is located primarily in the southeast corner of Fishers and the northeast corner of Indianapolis, and small parts are reaching into Lawrence and McCordsville and Fortville as well. Pro number 3. So as I'm editing this video, I realized I made a mistake. I said pro number 3 2 times instead of pro number 4. So we are now on pro number 4 of living in Fishers, Indiana. Now back to the video. 3 of living in Fishers, Indiana is its location. It's centrally located, pretty much everything that you would need. It's located on the southeast part of Hamilton County. It's more of a corner, if you will. It's about 20 miles away from downtown Indianapolis. It is 9 miles away from the mall, or the fashion mall as we would call it. It's a nice mall. It's got tons of different amenities. Broad Ripple, you're looking more around 15 miles away, and for the airport, it's going to be about 30 to 35 miles away from Fishers, Indiana, depending on where you're coming from. If you're finding this video helpful and you want to know everything there is to know about living in central Indiana, go ahead and subscribe below so you can be the first to learn about the central Indiana market. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make the move to central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. Now back to the video. Now that we talked about the pros of Fishers, Indiana, let's go ahead and talk about the cons. And con number 1, it's going to be traffic. Generally, traffic is going to be okay, but it gets really bad around rush hour in the morning and in the evening. It's not fun at all. State Road 37, it can get backed up in certain areas. The nice thing is they did a lot of construction and they continue to do construction on it. So the intersecting streets are now passing over, and 37 goes underneath those streets. I-69, another highway, it's got bad traffic because a lot of people are going to Indianapolis in the morning, and in the evening it gets really congested. And then when you hit Binford Boulevard, which is in Indianapolis, 69 turns into Binford Boulevard, but when you hit Binford Boulevard, it can become a parking lot sometimes, especially if lights are out, and it's just light after light after light. One good thing is Fishers is trying to make the roads better and kind of combat the stop and go traffic, but at the same time, it's also a pain trying to find other ways to go to work, trying to get rid of certain lights, because Fishers, especially on 116th Street, you have light after light after light. It really gets congested. It's a pain. It's a backup, basically. The other downside with Fishers is with their traffic, their road configurations, they didn't design it very well in terms of just how it's laid out. Since traffic is so bad, you get light after light traffic. It's overall not fun. Con number 2 of Fishers, Indiana is going to be the cost of housing. The median home price in Fishers is $405,000. It's one of the more expensive suburbs in Indiana for home prices. Now, if you're moving from out of state, you might think, hey, 405, that sounds great. Well, what are you talking about? It's not expensive. But compared to the rest of the state, Fishers is more expensive than most other parts of Indianapolis. And home prices drastically go up when you get into Geist. We talked about Geist in the pros with the amenities, really cool place, really beautiful place, but because it's a reservoir, you got homes that are right on that lake, that reservoir, so that jacks up the price because it's all about location, right? So if you want to live in Geist, minimum, you're looking at like $600,000 to $800,000 plus. If you can find something for $600,000 in great condition, you can afford it, scoop that up because it's not going to last long. If you are looking for new construction homes, Fishers does have some neighborhoods that are strictly new construction, but the downside is they are going to be further away from certain amenities. They're going to be more on the southeast side of Fishers, right by Fortville and McCordsville. So you're going to be further away from downtown Fishers and different amenities, especially if you want to try to go to downtown Indianapolis. You're going to need to take the highway 465, and that gets backed up big time. So unfortunately, with new construction neighborhoods, they're just going to be farther out in Fishers. Con number 3 of living in Fishers is going to be construction. Since Fishers has been growing rapidly, there's a lot of building that's going on right now. They're taking old buildings, tearing them down, and building new ones in their place. So you got a lot of road construction and building construction. They're putting in a lot of apartments and condos, mixed-use buildings. They're honestly trying to compete with Carmel, because a lot of people will compare Carmel and Fishers together, and they want to beat Carmel because why not? They like those tax dollars. And a good example of road construction is going to be 96th Street and Allisonville Road. It's very heavily traveled, but here in the next coming months, they're going to put a roundabout in. Well, there's currently a stoplight. It will definitely help the flow of traffic once it's in, but there are going to be a lot of growing pains, and it's going to take time to construct, 2 to 5 months, and that's going to be during the summertime when kids are out of school and you're going to be traveling. So unfortunately, you're going to have to find a way around that. So that's just one example of construction and how it might not be very well planned out. And con number 4 of living in Fishers is going to be the lack of diverse food options. Fishers has a lot of average chain restaurants, but there aren't many local places to eat. You'd think there'd be a little more local places, especially in an affluent place like Fishers, but unfortunately there's not. You have like the Applebee's, the Texas Roadhouse, all that, the pretty common stuff you're going to see, honestly, almost anywhere in different Midwest areas and towns, but unfortunately there's just not tons of local options. I wish there was. I think Fishers and Carmel would be better off with having more options, especially local options, but it's definitely difficult to get that stuff started. So those are my 4 pros and 4 cons of living in Fishers, Indiana. Hopefully it's helpful and it kind of gives you a good idea of, is Fishers a place that we might want to move to, or nope, we don't want to move here at all. Hopefully that gives you guys a good idea. And remember, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.